first go on the road filming my 2018 MT07. You know, take a little ride through a local town, let you guys listen to the bike, see if we can spot anything interesting. Unlikely, but you never know. Be interesting putting this up on YouTube for the world to critique my riding. I'm sure everybody will have something to say, or maybe not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. For anybody that does watch this, feel free to ask any questions you want about the bike. I got it new, delivered to my house in 2018. Oh my God. Already. Almost had an accident. Unbelievable. Anyways, been riding it since 2018. Absolutely love it. Done a good amount to it. Nothing crazy. Just lights, exhaust, handlebars, levers, fender eliminator, kind of the usual stuff. What are you doing? Oh my God, dude. Oh wow, holy shit, that was terrifying. Whew. Well, this is going to be an interesting one for my first. I never have this many near misses here on the road, and we've seen one and almost got hit in a matter of 2 minutes riding, so that's something. COVID, man, I tell you, I think people forgot how to drive. It's unbelievable. But yeah, we're just gonna cruise around and see what we can spot other than accidents. But yeah, so far the bike's been amazing. I guess for anybody looking to get into riding, I started riding 5 or 6 years ago now. I started on a Craigslist buy, 1980. Love that sound. 1980 Kawasaki KZ440, something that pretty much couldn't hurt me. I had some experience riding dirt bikes with a clutch, so I knew how to, you know, work a manual motorcycle transmission essentially. But just got bored of it, grew out of it way too fast, and then finally, once I had, you know, decent finances, I could get myself a bike, so I bought this, and I've loved it. It's been great. I actually bought it with a buddy of mine, bought the exact same bike in a different color, same year. We bought it from the same guy, or same dealer, I guess, and he was new, so I taught him how to ride, and he learned on this. So this is obviously a 700. He was fine once I kind of taught him what he needed to know about riding and shifting and just being, you know, respecting the power of a bike. He's been fine with it. He loves it too. We work on these together, so it's been great. It's been a great bike. I've loved it. I think you could easily start on this bike as long as you are taught by somebody knowledgeable and responsible, or if you take classes and just respect the power of it. I mean, this bike will get on one wheel very easily, especially in first gear. So yeah, it's I think a good beginner bike, but plenty of room to grow into. If I really wanted to tune this at all, you know, I don't know what I would get out of it. I'm sure it'd be a little slightly more aggressive than it is now, but I don't really need that. This bike sounds so good, so good in tunnels. For anyone interested, the exhaust I have on this is a the Leo, I don't know if it's Leo Vince or Leo Vince, but That's what it is. Spelled Leo Vince. It's an Italian exhaust. It's the underbody exhaust, so it doesn't come up at all. It's just under the bike. I think it looks super good. Keeps the bike lines so clean. It sounds awesome. It does have a dB killer that I have not used since I bought it. I pretty much took it out immediately. A buddy of mine put the, I think it's like the Yoshi R something. It might be like an R90 or an R99 race exhaust. It's like an upslung pipe on the right side. That thing sounds terrifying. When I would ride behind him, I could literally feel the bike when he was revving. It was just so unbelievably loud. It sounded great. If you can deal with that, it's absolutely unreal sounding. So yeah, that's some of the general info of the bike. I think I've got, let's see, irresponsibly checked, 4,873 miles on it, so nothing crazy. But I try to ride it as my my everyday casual recreational vehicle, I guess. It's my work therapy more than anything. Just get out during lunch for half hour, an hour, cruise around. I do work from home, so I have the luxury of taking my bike out in the middle of the day if I'd like to. But yeah, this is kind of, I guess, my test go at what I would consider a ride-along MotoVlog. I don't know what it's going to be, but I've been bored and thought I'd try to slap the GoPro on my helmet and give it a shot. So I looked up kind of how to set it up as best I could. I have a GoPro Hero 8 Black that I've had for a little while, a couple years. I do have an Icon Airflight, which has got that full face screen all the way down to the bottom, which kind of makes mounting a GoPro a little complicated than normal. Usually somebody would mount it right on their chin, you know, facing forward. This one is mounted. I actually just got like an articulating longer mount that's on the side of my helmet that gets the camera kind of far forward enough in front of my face that my helmet's not blocking it, but it is over on the right side of my helmet. And then I got one of those like classic purple Panda lavalier mics that seems like everybody uses. It's like the gold standard of cheap lavalier mics for doing this kind of thing. And I just have that tucked up in my helmet and wired out to the back of the GoPro, because I have the media mod on my GoPro, so it has an auxiliary jack in the back of it. So I can just plug my mic right in there, and I have that wired up to right inside my chin of my helmet. Hopefully it's not so unbelievably loud because it's right next to my mouth. I'm gonna have to figure out if this sounds good, doesn't sound good, if I need to put it somewhere else, move it further from my mouth, whatever. But I guess I'll figure that out in the processing phase of these videos. But yeah, I mean, just always watching people on YouTube, and I think I have a decent setup and situation to maybe just grab some videos of riding and answer some questions in the community. If people want this bike, I'm sure as I continue, I'm going to get, I've already looked at bikes considered like something different. I'm sure I'll probably get more bikes at some point. I'm into cars. I have a 1955 BSA B31 motorcycle. It's a single cylinder 350 that I'm working on trying to, I wouldn't say restore, but get back on the road. That's a long-term project at this point. But I'm into that. I'm you know, like fixing stuff, and I'm into cars. So my fiance surprisingly likes to ride on the back of this, which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how it could possibly be comfortable, but you know, looking at down the line, maybe getting something that we can both ride more comfortably on. Not that I'm a huge cruiser guy, but yeah, go ahead, why don't you? But yeah, we'll see. I don't know, maybe an adventure bike one of these days. Looking to get a dirt bike again soon. Just all things automotive All things automotive are up my alley at this point. Keep me busy. Don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, talking like I have a YouTube channel. I've never even posted a video. But who knows, maybe people will want to watch this kind of stuff, even though I'm sure the motorcycle world is so oversaturated at this point with people that stick cameras on their helmets. But I figured, why not? Might as well get on the bandwagon, right? Let somebody else enjoy my motorcycle and my local roads, small town, rural areas. A lot of cool roads, a lot of good rides. And if this is something that's interesting to people, I'll work on planning some better rides, some longer rides out places, and figuring out how that works with the GoPro. I don't even know how much battery life I'm gonna get out of this ride, but I guess we will find out. I don't even know where I want to go. I guess I'll go to the right. As maybe some people watching this, depending on where you are and how observant you are, seeing signs in places, broadly I am in the Massachusetts area, state, I guess. So maybe this will be a good opportunity to meet some people in the community and do some rides or whatever. I don't have many people to ride with, so part of the reason why. Figured filming might keep me busy while I'm on the bike, spice it up a bit. I do know there are some car channels up this way. Tedward, shout out to him on my first video, I guess. I don't know the guy, but I know he's up in this area and he drives some pretty unbelievable cars. It's a cool car. Who knows, maybe we can, sometime in the future, if he ever sees this, we can do something together. I can meet up with him, meet him. We actually, sounds like we come from similar lines of business. He's an engineer, I'm an engineer. He kind of got bored of doing that and has made his way in auto journalism, I guess you would call it. So I don't know, weird shout out to him, but he's got a good channel and makes good content. It's fun to watch, beautiful cars. So a little moped with a bicycle helmet, very safe. Would not recommend. Going to be interesting on the processing part of this. Never really put a video together. Haven't done much filmmaking in my life, but I'm sure it's going to be a learning curve. It's always fun to learn new things. It's part of the reason I get into all this stuff is bored easily and have too many hobbies. Between video games, computers, work, bikes, cars, a little bit of woodworking, I sim race. I have a sim racing rig. I played drums for a while, selling that now to maybe get a dirt bike instead. I don't play that much. Kind of getting back into guitar a little bit. Do general just mechanic maintenance work, house work, all kinds of stuff. Carpentry, electrical work. My dad and I just rebuilt our mower, new heads, you know, new valves, new rods. Do that kind of stuff. I mean, been thinking about just starting to post this stuff at some point in time on YouTube. Just a plethora of random garbage that I do on a day-to-day basis outside of working. I guess the splendors of life. Variety is the spice of life. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe other people are interested in that. And maybe this will get me into doing other things people want to see. I don't know. I'm down to see anything. Hello, Mr. Harley. That never waves. It's too bad. He was distracted though. Won't blame him. Trying to spot other motorcycle inspection places. Went on a wild goose chase last week trying to get my bike inspected up here. 2 of my local shops that I usually go to were shut down. I would assume, I think one was retirement, one might have been because of COVID, which is a shame, but I ended up finding a place that was a good 35 minutes from my house, which is insane just to get my bike inspected, but sometimes that's what it takes. So much road construction around me lately. It's been unbelievable. Bumps and graded pavement and closed roads, closed lanes. Hey, Mr. Bicycle Man. Scoping out the camera. Oh, big bump. Nice new Genesis. Oh, I hate those bumps. Suspension on this bike is something that I've been interested in. I've heard some things about factory setup is not like ideal, or you know, there's some, they call it, you know, some fatal flaw that I have not encountered in any of my riding over the last whatever 2+ years, 3 years at this point almost, on this bike. But I would be interested to see if there is a better setup for this bike. It is a little hard, especially on bumps like that. I get kicked in unpleasant places in my rear end, but yeah, I'd be curious to see if maybe a shop, or if there's something I can learn better about setting up this bike. Haven't really delved into suspension work on anything in my life. It's, I don't know, an area that I'm a little iffy on. Everything always seems complicated until you dive into it, and then it's usually not too bad. But one of these days, maybe if somebody on YouTube wants to see it, you can request it and I will happily dive into it and we'll figure it out together. Film some work videos. The only shame is I should have started this, I guess, when I got my bike, because I've done pretty much what I want to this bike. Recently, just new grips and actually a new bar. This is a wider bar and a little bit of a flatter bar than the stock, and it is, for me, so much better. Actually, so my frame on this bike, I'm all of 6'1", about 180 pounds, and I fit on this comfortably. Oh, a little digression here. I mentioned my hobbies. My biggest hobby is my golf course that I play at right here. Golf takes up more time than anything at this point. I've been playing golf for, I don't know, almost half my life at this point. Anyways, it was a completely random train of thought there, but yeah, I'm 6'1", about 180, and I fit on this bike, you know, just fine. It's very comfortable. But I started reading some things more out of boredom, the fact that I wanted to apparently spend money on my motorcycle, but I saw a lot of people writing about you know, they had got these bars, and I have to see what they actually are. Of course I don't remember. I believe they're Renthals. They're not Pro Taper bars, but they're like a Renthal low, or maybe it is Pro Taper low. Nice bikes, buddy. Beautiful. Yeah, so I read that it was just more comfortable, kind of a slightly more aggressive but not bent over position, and I got longer arms, and this is just so much more comfortable. It gets my arms a little further out. I can really control the bike better. It's been super comfortable. What else about the bike? Oh, well, I guess little things that I've added, if you can see in the camera or not. These are not stock mirrors. I put these mirrors on right away, just because I hate the look of stock mirrors, to be honest. And these are great. They get way out wide of my shoulders, and they've been awesome, super clear, not a lot of vibration issues with them. What else can you see? Yeah, my CRG levers, expensive for levers, but totally worth it. They're such good quality, fully adjustable. I have a USB thing here, you can see, so I can charge my phone if I need to. I've got the quad lock phone case and mount, which is literally so good. I used to have the ram mount, and that's actually the little ball thing. There is a ram mount piece, and the quad lock just goes on it. But the ram mount was like a lot of work. It was kind of fussy to get my phone in, get my phone out if I was like getting off my bike. The quad lock case on my phone is just so easy. It pops on and off. It's got an anti-vibration mount. It's just so easy to keep my phone right there. You know, if I have music in my helmet or whatever, I've got, you know, my fiance on the back and we're using the intercom. And actually, this is my GPS. It's called a Beeline Moto. It's absolutely awesome. It's so simple, super tiny screen. It navigates by like traditional GPS, sort of, with, you know, like traditional directional arrows and whatever, or you can do what they call just like compass direction. So if I set a destination, it'll actually point in the compass direction of my destination. You know, say it's, you know, northeast of where I am, it will just point northeast, not the turns, and you can kind of pave your way to that just by, like, you know, kind of guessing roads and seeing new places. It's pretty cool. It's a little tricky up here because we have a lot of like looping roads and random back roads that don't, like, you know, you think, oh, I'll take this way, you know, east, and it ends up looping back and going south and west before you know it. So it can be a little complicated, but the GPS is great. I don't like being distracted while I'm on my bike at all, obviously, so that's just like really easy to see. I don't have to think about what I'm looking at for a long period of time. I just glance down at it and, you know, I'm like, okay, I got, you know, quarter mile before I make a right turn, and there's just a little arrow. It's been really solid. I think that's it. I got a windscreen on this little baby Puig, I think, P-U-I-G, Puig, I don't know. I put that on pretty early. That's huge for this bike, honestly. They have a bigger one too, but I'm not really into the touring screen look very much. It just, in my opinion, doesn't fit this bike very well. So this little one does way more than you think it does. It's really moved a lot of the oncoming air from that away from my chest, so it doesn't beat me off the bike, I guess, as much, especially if I do decide to take the highway, which I will actually hop on quickly on my way back, coming up in a minute here. But yeah, that's, I would say, the biggest things for this bike that I did right away was a fender eliminate. Well, not right away. The first thing I did was actually I bought an exhaust right away, because that's what I wanted on the bike. I wanted a new exhaust, because I bought a bike so I could listen to the beautiful noise of a bike. I think together I bought the exhaust, the mirrors, and the windscreen, and a fender eliminator. Actually, I decided to, like an idiot, after spending money on a bike, I went and spent a ton more money on a bunch of parts to replace all the new parts on my bike. So, I mean, I guess that's just the whole point of it. But yeah, I did all that at once, and that's like quality of life, not so much. I would say the best quality of life changes I've made for this bike are the handlebars, the grips, getting rid of the stock grips, much less vibration through these like pillow tops, the Pro Taper pillow tops, the mirrors, and the windscreen. That's probably the biggest thing. All this stuff is like huge. The levers too, I like so much better than the stock ones. They're just way, ergonomically, they're like way more comfortable for the way that I stay quiet for the bike. Nice. For the way that I ride and the way that I use levers and whatever. Just I guess my hand positioning is what I'm saying. We all use levers pretty much the same way. This will be a good test on the highway for the GoPro. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping that I don't lose my camera. That would really suck. But let's see. Squeeze my way in here. These people, I'm telling you, it's like you've got people on the left lane driving like super fast half the time, and then the people in the right lane driving like 10 miles an hour under the speed limit. I don't understand what the deal is with that, but that's, I guess, just drivers up here. I feel like I've seen more near accidents in the last 6 months of driving than I have my whole life. People just creeping their way out of their houses and forgot how to drive, or the rules of the road, apparently. But yeah, guess that's a very long-winded, rambly general overview of my motorcycling career thus far. Not anything too crazy exciting, but it's something. Maybe you guys will find it interesting. Somebody will, sure, which is cool. Gas station is always hopping. Super busy. Which way do we want to go back through town? I guess the only way there is. Something I'll definitely do a lot is, hello Mr. Motorcycle, I tend to have one hand off my bike a lot just through these roads. I don't know why I find it so much more comfortable, but I think it gets my body a little more vertical, just for slow riding, I suppose. Really curious how this audio turns out, so like to, if it's good enough that I post this, definitely curious to hear your opinions. If you know, can hear the bike well or not, it's too quiet, too loud, and then if anyone knows like a better way to do that. Obviously I only have so much real estate inside my helmet to put a microphone, so I'd imagine I can't be too far off of what most people are doing, but maybe just like I don't know, I'm using words that I know nothing about, like audio compression and stuff, as if I'm some audio engineer that knows what I'm gonna do with this afterwards. It's just not the case. But yeah, you know, maybe there's a post-processing portion of this that I'm just not familiar with. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how it turns out. I wouldn't mind. I'm on my bike, honestly, probably every single day. Every single day that I'm not traveling for work, which I tend to do a lot of. But yeah, we've had a crazy stretch of bad weather here. Like, I think I was off the bike for like a good 2.5 weeks between traveling and rain. Just so much rain. It was ridiculous. Just sheets every day. Sheets of rain, like a constant monsoon up here. I'm sure anyone around this area can agree. It has not been all that pleasant. But the last few days have been unbelievable. Nice 75 degrees, sunny, cool, no humidity. That is the weather for me. Good golfing weather, good riding weather. And that makes up a pretty good weekend day in my books. Yeah, but I'm definitely looking, if I'm able to sell my drums, hey, if you're in the area, well, drop me a comment if you're looking for a nice electronic drum set. I've got an Alesis Strike with a bunch of extra goodies for sale, and if you're interested, be happy to sell it. And I'm really looking to get a dirt bike again. I've got some friends that are in the dirt bike finding business, if that's a thing, and then some neighbors actually that ride that may be willing to part ways with a bike of theirs. But I'd love to do some dirt bike videos too, if I'm able to get that and get a setup going on that, some gear and a good mic setup. Yeah, that would be fun. We got a lot of good riding around me, a lot of woods, a lot of trails. I guess like enduro stuff has always been interesting to me. Like that's how I used to, when I was younger, I had a little bike. I'm not some serious dirt biker by any means, not even an amateur really. But just like love watching enduro races, you know, jumping logs and rocks and, you know, grinding your way through the woods kind of thing. I'm not super into like motocross. I don't really think that's my thing. I say that now, but I really think just carving your own path through the woods and through difficult obstacles seems like a blast. I just want to get back into doing that, you know, try something new again. All about enjoying time off work, I guess, is what I've been trying to do more of. I'm sure that's a common sentiment for folks. It's just like, get out and relax. That's why riding is so unbelievable. If you're ever considering getting a bike, it is like the most stress relieving, except for when you almost get in an accident, but other than that, most stress relieving thing that I do, outside of like even exercising. You know, lifting and running is good, but not as fun nearly or as relaxing to me as riding. This is like, really is like a therapy. Just clear your mind. You can't focus on anything else but riding while you're out here, so it really helps me decompress and focus back on work and, you know, that kind of stuff, and try not to get overwhelmed with day-to-day life. It's definitely important to, you know, get out there and do what you got to do to stay happy. Super important. And I know everybody says that, but it's the truth. Man, this is crazy, people getting cut off today. God. This is a notorious little intersection. People just don't pay attention and come out and make turns when they just are not supposed to. And it's like, it's crazy to me. But, yeah, well, it's been real. This is going up probably on YouTube as long as everything checks out. So if that's the case, thanks for watching. You know, subscribe, I guess, if you feel like it. I'm going to try and post this, try and gather some information and see if maybe I should keep making videos. But until next time, you know, ride safe, stay happy, and yeah, thanks for watching.